gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe, here in this great hall of justice, are the most powerful forces of good ever assembled. Dedicated to truth, justice, and peace for all mankind.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spinner Rack. The crew is here. Cal, Petey, and our special guest star, Professor BX.
What are you laughing about?
Today we're
we have a
talking
guest
about
here.
How you shoot a guest?
I wasn't laughing.
Today we're talking about
I wasn't laughing.
Netflix Iron Fist. It hasn't come out yet. It hasn't dropped, but the reviews have come in. Whether there's a savage job, or whether it's a realistic thing, we're going to discuss it. And all I can say right now is that those who believe the crap that's been emanating from people's mouths, those fake websites, those alternate news sites, need to go to hell. Okay? So, I haven't seen it, but I can tell you, the commercials are good. Once again, I'm going to let our guest star. You know what? Forget the guest star. BB, give us your 5 on this.
I'm starting here to let the rest of our guests calm down a little. This is getting us a little heated, but I want to say that they said that they gave out the first 6 episodes of Iron Fist, and they've been panned pretty much, across the board. But when you read some of these reviews, that's what I would like someone who has a disagreement, or the reviewers. When we read their reviews, they talk about the controversy about Iron Fist not being Asian, or Iron Fist talking to someone who runs a dojo, and they wish the one I read said that they wish it was more like Deadpool, or like some of these other movies that are a little more silly and tongue-in-cheek, and it's like, that's not Iron Fist. So they're wondering why Iron Fist is in the boardroom. It's like, does anyone read any comic books anymore? Do they know what Iron Fist is? They're just saying, hey, this is an Asian concept, and we want it to be not Chuck Norris. We want it to be something else. And they've been asking for it to be something else, but it's not. It's a comic book that it is. The dragon is a backstory element. I'm actually complaining to one reviewer. Regretfully, I don't have his name, but I'll post it. But anyway, sorry. But I think that there's a lot of things that is playing to the controversy, and they're saying, oh, people feel that, correct us. Correct this, change this. Don't do everything the same. Don't, apologize for him being a white guy and doing all this martial arts. Like, that's not what it is. He's a superhero. I'd like to see it, see what they did. But Marvel also has a problem where they did things like in Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, where they stretch things out. Mm-hmm. So that's where a lot of the problems could lie. But now they're not giving them the benefit of the doubt of saying, hey, comic books aren't bad. Look, it doesn't suck. Look at Jessica Jones, it doesn't suck. We expect it to suck. So now it's like, hell, it's not quick enough. They're not saying that, they're just really going to the controversy. So that's my problem with the reviews. I would still like to see it anyway.
But Petey, I gotta interject here.
Uh-oh.
I gotta.
What did I say wrong?
I'm sorry.
Oh no, what did I say wrong?
You didn't say nothing wrong. But someone who is going to talk about the fact that Danny Rand is not Asian, it's full of crap. Okay? Because, I don't know, for you or for me, we've read the story and we know who Iron Fist is.
Yes.
But do you not think it's more stereotypical to have a martial arts show with an Asian in it? Then you're going to say, oh, what are you doing? The same thing. Come on, give me a break. Let's have an Asian character who has a regular superpower, who isn't the typical samurai or martial art. Let him have a power independent of that, just being a powerful individual, being a mutant. To me, that I would start saying, hey, what is this, Asian washing or whatever? It wouldn't be right, Dude, don't listen to that crap, all right? But, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt our guest here. That's just my take on it. Can't stand that crap, and I think it's just the same way it has to be. Just because he has a martial arts power, he has to be Asian? Give me a frigging break, man. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't want to hear it. I don't frigging want to hear it.
It's like the comic book, the 10-year-old comic book fanboy in me is crushing with like 2017, and it's all like kind of crazy right now. I'm not even sure which question I'm answering. If it's in terms of the response of the critics and what they're saying, I think like it is based on It started off with the whole fact about there was an outcry for an Asian Iron Fist. I don't think you need an Asian Iron Fist. I think you need a Shang-Chi. I'd have been cool with Shang-Chi. That'd have been more dynamic, and he wouldn't have been the head of a corporation. I think some of the reviews I read were talking about the fact that for all the scenes that you get in the first 6 episodes, with not that much action, you get a lot of the corporate boardroom CW shows. So when you have these scenes where he's talking, with the other characters, it just seems like a CW show. Like, there's someone, hey, you're back, and it's mysterious, and where you been, and how you gone. So I think that's a lot of what they're talking about. And just in terms of the storytelling, that's what they're complaining about. It's like, it's not fast-paced, it's not, and that the fight scenes, that's the only thing I'm concerned about. I don't care if he's white. This is Iron Fist, those fight scenes better be better than Daredevil.
Okay.
That's for me.
Yeah,
like,
it's supposed to be a martial arts,
that's
right?
a point there. That's a big.
Well, not just
I know you're our guest.
not just
I
a
just
martial
understand
artist.
We don't really be knocking organizations like CW and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. I mean, no, I'm not knocking CW. I mean, I was Dawson's Creek all day.
We do that all the time.
No, we don't.
At least I do it.
I keep saying we shouldn't be doing it. We got to reel you in.
Oh no, it's not a knock to CW. I'm just saying it's that format. Like, if I wanted to see
Truth.
like Riverdale, I'd watch Riverdale.
Justice.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I want to see Iron Fist, I want to see Iron Fist.
He went to Riverdale. There we go.
Riverdale.
Yeah, that review is coming soon.
Archie is that's not Archie. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but that's where I stand on that.
Okay. Should I even ask for you?
This is strange because I actually agree with big business right over here. I honestly think, look, man, you guys sound like a bunch of SJWs, and you can go.
I don't mean, what is SJW?
Like social justice warrior. Okay, you can go and
Social justice war.
okay, you can go and jump at this portion. When I read a review, and one of the things I read in the review, it's what did the guy say? Racially uncomfortable. Then already you have revealed why you couldn't watch this, because socially you have let somebody else do the thinking for you. The story is about someone who journeys to, he actually gets transplanted in a different place, learned these abilities, and he's not just a regular martial artist. He's one of the superior martial artists. He has the power of the Iron Fist, which only a superior artist could do. But I know that because I actually read the comic book. I didn't watch 6 episodes of a show, and I didn't allow a movement of people who literally wanted to wash this guy out, which is the opposite of what whitewashing is. They literally wanted to wash him out and put somebody else in, and said, why? Because it's about time. For me, look, that's just as racist as anything else. So I wouldn't allow that to color my opinion. But when I'm looking at the reviews, that's where it seems to be coming. I still haven't seen the show. I'll have to wait to see to the show. And I think what Professor BX said, those are some good points. The fight scenes need to be top. This is Iron Fist, okay? He's on a totally different level look, this guy's been in Kunlun. He's been there most of his life. He's traveling. He comes back, and if it comes across like Kwai Kan Chang from Kung Fu, then it's going to feel a bit dated. But if the big thing that these guys watching it had a problem with is that you have someone white doing things that are, quote unquote Asian, or speaking Chinese or Japanese or whatever it is, or schooling someone who's Asian, in something that I guess they're supposed to know how to do because they're Asian, so they just have like all this thing in there, then you guys got to take a step back, stop sniffing your own poo, and be a real critic. Yeah, you have to judge it based on what it's there and stop letting other people think for you.
Like all Chinese know Kung Fu, all Japanese know karate. Give us a frigging break, dudes. You're like everybody else. You're people, all right? So get off the doggone horse and let's review this movie this TV show as what we think it is. Now, my personal opinion, I saw the trailers, and I have some problems with the trailer first. It has nothing to do with him being white or Asian. It's just that, Iron Fist is, to me, I don't know, from the comics I've read, he's supposed to be badass. You know what I'm trying to say? And
an excellent fighter, a real excellent fighter.
The Kung Fu does not look as smooth, as hot as I would have anticipated it to be. The power itself, when it lights up in his hands, I'm like, oh, and that's it. I don't see the chest lighting up.
Chest didn't light up, though. The chest didn't light up. That's like an Iron Man.
Yeah, chest doesn't light up. It's just the fist.
But, man, I want the chest to be lighting up and just, whoa! and then let that whole thing. But you
You know,
know,
from the trailer, it seems like I couldn't tell. I was like, are they really going to stretch this out where he doesn't use the fist until like episode 13?
that's-
Because
No,
if they
that's
do
not-
that, that's a big
that's gonna
mistake.
suck.
I think
That's
it's
a
gonna
big
happen in
mistake.
like the third episode. They said.
a third episode. Okay, cool. I mean,
Unless the first two, because they haven't done this with any of the other guys either. The origin tends to be stretched out over a few
oh
episodes.
God, does it?
But by that third, I'm having a difficulty at this point believing they could have dropped the ball with this show that badly after everything else that came out. I'm having a hard time, but I am going to have to see this one because there has been such a pedigree to the Marvel stuff, the movies, and the Netflix stories that for them to have, literally, this would have been like people just fell asleep at the wheel. Yeah. So I really have to see this. Criticism aside, I have to see this for myself.
Well, then we have to make a distinction, though. The movies are basically run by Feige. What's his name? Feige? Kevin Feige?
Kevin
I keep messing your name. I'm sorry, dude.
But what's the name
But
of the
the-
TV show
but
by Jeff Lowe?
Jeff
isn't
Lowe.
it?
Who's
He's like the guy.
Yeah.
Permulator, right? That's the guy who runs Marvel Comics.
Perlmutter,
He's
Perlmutter.
gone, right? Ike,
No, he still runs the comic, doesn't he?
Isn't Ike? You talking about Ike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's gone.
He's gone now?
He's the bad guy now. He's the one that was sexist, wouldn't allow the female.
Right, but
and
he's
all that
pushing the
stuff.
Inhumans. He was the one who was pushing
He
the
was,
Inhumans.
yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
But
So
he's out.
I know he's out of
He's
the
out
movies,
completely.
but he's still the comic
He's
and the
still
TV.
in
But
I
Jeff
think
Lowe
he's
was the
a
guy we need to talk about because Jeff Lowe was the guy here.
Jeff Lowe.
And Jeff Lowe knows his stuff.
Right, but I'm saying
Lowe
let's
does.
Jeff Lowe. He's following. Well, all right. Probably the Netflix is it's a separate universe altogether. But I know like Agents of Shield that comes under the Marvel Comics, comes under the
Jeff
the
Lowe.
Permanent-
Jeff Lowe too. Yeah.
All right, so but then that's Permulator. Permulator.
No, he's gone. Like he just told you.
You told you that? Wow.
Yeah, they got rid of him. He's the bad guy. He did everything bad. They dumped on him.
Okay.
Everything good, was kept.
Well, look, all I can say is that, I hope the movie's hot. I don't have a problem him telling other Asian how to fight, especially if he has the knowledge. If he's a master, it doesn't matter whether you're black, white, or whatever. I know I used to do karate years ago, and we had black, we had white masters. No one said, hey, well, you know what, you're not Asian, so it's not going to work.
Yeah, look
That
at
doesn't make
RZA and the
sense.
man with the iron fist,
Oh,
man. Come
Lord.
on.
If that's
Nobody had a problem with that. That wasn't racially uncomfortable.
He actually directs one of the episodes.
Who, RZA? Yeah, I think I heard something like
Yeah.
that.
It's over. They're right.
He directed one.
But you know
Are you
what?
serious?
Yeah.
RZA directed one of the Iron Fist episodes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
As long as it's not as slow as the Man of the Iron Fist.
Oh, man, that was slow.
But no.
But it wasn't a bad film
No, I would
overall.
this segue into the open of the Man with Iron Fist where they score shame on you. The shame on that one. They scored it. They put a whole orchestra to it. It's amazing. And then the rest of the movie sucks. But that open of that is crazy.
But what do you guys think of the actual martial arts that we did see in the trailers?
Not as impressive as I would have.
I was not impressed. I
No.
thought, like, are you guys holding it back? Like,
know.
I can't judge it. I can't judge the martial arts stuff on the trailers. I got it because to be honest, if I had to judge this series on the trailer, I'm like, okay, I'm not really 100% certain what you're giving me. Even with the fist, I was again because inside of the comic, the fist is like literally not this glowing thing, but it's on fire.
Yeah.
Okay, it's this fiery thing that's coming over. It's this thing onto iron. So I'm looking at all this stuff and I'm like, okay, I have to see how a lot of this stuff plays out. But in the same breath, I'm gonna be fair to this. And I don't think a lot of these guys. From what I've seen of the criticism, I don't see how. Literally, when I see something like racial uncomfortable, it's like, how is that being fair to the show? Yeah. How? I said, unless these guys are walking around making, Asian jokes, like, hey, son of Fu Manchu or some stupidity like that. I don't see what these guys are. I really don't see what they're talking about, other than they feel this knee-jerk, politically correct, social justice warrior streak where they need to say this, and it's probably somebody white writing it where they feel like I have to say this along those lines. So that type of stuff really took me out of the reviews, and it wasn't one review or two reviews or three reviews, okay, where you keep seeing this particular trend. So how much of it the show is bad, and how much of it is like, no, I got to pile on this. Because if I say anything good about it, then these guys are going to come after me as racially insensitive.
But
so I'm not too sure about those.
The one thing about the reviews that do bring to light, I'm all for making it a more diverse cast. You know what I'm trying to say? But necessarily does the Iron Fist character? I mean, the one thing is the Iron Fist character. He's not white, and he's not Asian. He is white, and that's one of the integral parts of where he goes there. And we have to understand that about the story. Now, other characters, not so much. You know what I'm trying to say? We could always change them up. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we kind of agree with the fact that Iron Fist, give it a chance, okay?
Yeah.
Right?
Give it a
everybody?
chance. Yeah,
Give it a
yeah,
chance.
give it a chance.
It's too early for these reviews. Watch it yourself and then tell us what you think. But let me tell you, Marvel and Netflix, it better be good.
I
Okay,
know what I'm
we're
betting
backing
on.
you. Okay,
If I had to put money on that, I already know what my bet.
Spin a rack out.